If I told you there was a 10-minute video that could change your life for the better, would you watch it? Well, duh, but that's exactly what I'm about to do. You see, for the longest time, I've been searching for a way to not only unlock financial freedom, but time freedom as well, which ultimately would allow me to spend more time with loved ones and doing more meaningful things day to day. And after years of failing and missing out, I found a way to finally achieve this through a unbelievably simple trading strategy. Let me explain. So, look, we are entering a new era. Everything is changing, not just in finance, but in every aspect of how we live our lives in the modern world. New people are waking up every day to the fact that working 40 hours a week and trading your time for a salary that barely covers the basics just to maybe retire when you're 65 is no longer an option. And meanwhile, central banks are printing money faster than at any point in history. Inflation is quietly stealing your wealth, the cost of living goes up, and your paycheck doesn't. The rich keep getting richer, and everyone else? Still stuck in the rat race, still stuck guessing, still stuck hoping. So, look, if you click this video, I'm sure you are in the same boat and looking for a way to take advantage of the shift happening right now and want to learn how to make money online. So, pay attention. Now you're probably wondering, who is this guy? Well, let me be clear. I'm not a Wall Street trader. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a crypto guru sitting next to a Lambo on your feed. I'm just someone who got obsessed with understanding how the markets actually work, and I've spent over 5 years trying everything. Hundreds of indicators, over leveraging, buying into hype coins, even copying influencer trades. And for the longest time, I kept losing until I stumbled onto something. This thing I stumbled onto was a pattern, it was a rhythm, and it felt like the market was breathing, and I finally started hearing it. And once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it, and once I started using it, everything changed. Now, that one pattern became the backbone of my entire trading system, and it's the reason I've been able to generate consistent monthly returns, averaging 30% or more every month while only trading a few times a week. Now listen, I know what you're probably thinking. I've heard this before. Someone shows up in a video, makes some crazy claim, and then 2 hours later, they're trying to sell you a $1,000 course that promises to change your life forever. I know that game because I used to fall for it too, but that's not what this is. You see, I want to be completely transparent with you. So here's my promise to you. I'm going to keep this video real, I'm going to respect your time, and at the end, I'll show you a way to access the private community I built for free where you can learn how to use the exact strategy I'm about to walk you through today. This isn't some overpriced masterclass. You won't need to drop $997 to unlock the secret. You can try it out for free, and if you find my info valuable, think of it as you are buying me lunch. That's it. That's the cost to get in, and in return, I'll give you my entire system, how I generate 30% plus returns per month, and how you can turn 5K into 111K or even $500,000 in just 1 year using this one overlooked strategy. And this strategy can easily be done anywhere in the world and from your laptop in just a few hours a week. If that sounds like something you've been searching for, you're going to want to stick around because we're just getting started. Warning though, this strategy is not sexy, it's simple. And that's why it works. That's why you can still make the same amazing returns while working a full-time job and without staring at charts all day long. You'll wonder why no one ever taught it this way. Now, I didn't start out winning. I started out just like you, jumping into trades because some YouTuber said it was the next big thing, watching price charts until 2 a.m., getting stopped out 30 seconds after entering, then rage buying the next breakout only to watch it dump 10% instantly. Every time I thought I had found the secret, it slipped through my hands, and new indicators, new strategies, new shiny object. I was overcomplicating the game. I had the knowledge, I had the tools, but I was missing clarity. So I zoomed out and literally everything clicked. Since then, I've been running one strategy. One. It's clean, it's repeatable, and it makes sense. So much sense that it almost feels illegal. And the best part, it only takes me an hour or less a day. Heck, I could automate it so I don't even need to look at the charts, but I enjoy looking at the charts, so I don't want to. But let's be real, most traders lose. That's not an opinion, that's data. And in fact, over 90% of retail traders give up or lose money within the first year. And that's not because they're dumb or lazy, it's because they're doing the wrong things. They're trading 20 indicators at once, they're FOMOing into breakout coins, they're holding coins hoping for a miracle, they're over leveraging, they're revenge trading, and getting into emotional spirals. The list goes on and on. But trading doesn't have to be like this. You see, most traders don't have a strategy, and having a strategy changes everything, especially if your strategy had one clean setup, one trigger, one rule, and it worked over and over and over again. I found that setup. I've used it quietly for quite a while now, and it's almost boring. It's so easy, but the results are far from it. In the past 12 months, I've used this strategy on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and even some altcoins like Sui and Solana, and I've averaged 30% a month. Let me say that again, 30% monthly. 30% is an insanely good return in a month. That's 3 times the average annual return on the stock market in 1 month. And it gets even crazier. Most people think that 30% a month would be like 3xing your money in 1 year, but no, it's way better than that. You see, when you make 30% a month and reinvest all the gains each month back into it, that money compounds on each other, allowing for a much bigger return of about 22x at the end of the year. This would turn $5,000 into over $100,000 in just 1 year. Or if you started out with a 10K account, that would turn into 220 grand in 1 year. And that's math, not hype. And also, that's average. Some months were over 70%. And that's not on 50x leverage and not catching bottoms or tops. And before you say that's not sustainable, you're right. Most strategies aren't. This one doesn't rely on hype or volatility or the 20 indicators you have on your chart right now. It relies on one thing, and that's momentum. And the best part is you can get started for free. This setup doesn't require 5 screens or some institutional data feed. It uses a free default indicator, one that's literally built into TradingView. I'm telling you, it's right there, but almost no one is using it correctly. And when you use it the right way, you know exactly when to enter, exactly when to exit, and exactly when to sit on your hands. Most people try to predict the market. They want to guess what's next, but pros don't predict, pros react. This strategy doesn't try to tell the future. It simply waits for a very specific condition to show up, and when it does, you act. No emotion, no chasing, no maybe, just it's here, take the shot. I started testing the strategy with small trades, just $100 here and there, then $500, then $1,000, and every time I stuck to the setup, I walked away green. Of course I had losses, that's part of the game, but in the end, probability plays out and you'll win more times than you lose. Then eventually I built a small group of people who wanted to learn the same thing, a private community where we tracked trades, held each other accountable, and executed the same strategy over and over again. So picture this, you wake up, you check the charts, and within 30 seconds you know if it's time to strike or wait. No emotion, no guessing, just clarity. Then imagine compounding that clarity for 12 months straight. 30% here, 25% there, 70% the next month. Then watch 5K turn into 10K, then 25K, and then $50,000. Not because you took some moonshot, but because you mastered one setup. And no, it's not support and resistance lines, it's not Fibonacci levels, it's not some AI-powered algo, it's one indicator on one time frame that almost everyone overlooks. And you've probably used it, but not like this. Now, I built a private Discord community around this. It's called Freedom Traders. It's not for gamblers, it's for people who want a real edge and the accountability to use it right. Inside of Freedom Traders, I share my golden method like the one I've been telling you about, as well as daily alerts, chart examples, trade walkthroughs, other TA lessons, and a community of traders just like you, all committed to growing real wealth one trade at a time and from virtually anywhere in the world. The methods I teach aren't for people who want to trade 24/7 and barely make any profits. They are for those who want to make consistent compounding gains by letting their trades play out over a couple of days and only look at the charts a couple of times a month. This strategy allows us to have time freedom and to actually live our lives and not just stare at the charts all day long. That's why I call it Freedom Traders. And just because you made it to the end of this video, I want to personally thank you. I will be dropping a link in the description below that will allow you access to my community for free to get started. This is your first step, not just to becoming a better trader, but to unlocking actual freedom through trading, because after all, that's what trading is all about, isn't it? So if you're serious about changing your financial future, take the first step, click the link below, and I'll see you inside.